Hi there. Okay. Back a couple of months ago, I had mentioned Charles Hoffman had sent me a knife, and I had one, and I got a box of knives from Charles Hoffman. So anyway, he put together a knife he was just playing with, just extra steel in the shop, messing around and whatever. And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, this is where it came from, actually. The knife that I'm going to show you is the cut-off version of this. When he cut the steel off for this, this is what was left over. He was playing with it. TRC. It's coming up. Anyway. So, he called me on the phone. He said to me, "Hey, Tom," he said, "Do you want this knife?" I said, "What knife?" He said, the bone knife. That's what we called it. I said, "Yeah, that'd be fun to play with." So here's the legend of the knife. He made the blade, blah, blah, blah. And he was out and he seen a very old bone that looked really interesting to him. And he picked the bone up, took it home, installed the knife into the bone. Now, it's not pinned or anything. It's epoxied in. And I was really like, I'm going to wind up having to put a handle on this. I know I am. But I beat this thing through thick and thin, and it hasn't done anything wrong. And I didn't record it because I was just playing with it. The reason why I'm going to do this video is because I had a good friend of mine, MT Woods Runner. If you're not a subscriber, get over there and check out MT. That's his name, capital MT Woods Runner. So anyway, I was over there, and he said to me, I really like to see that Seax blade. So that's why we're bringing you this knife. This is the knife right here. Now, bear in mind, this is just a play around knife that was thrown together. It's just a play knife. It wasn't meant to be nothing but, hey, I'm just messing around. Now, oddly, it turned out to be a Seax blade. Now, most Seax blades are like 8-10 inches long. That was their regular size knives, between 7 to 10 inches. And the tip usually does a start up here. It comes down and it gets tipped here. The Vikings of years ago, the Norsemen, German people, they had to use their knives for not only fighting, but for, living. I could not imagine why you'd want to put a tip right on the blade. From using normal knives all year, most of my life, the blade comes up here, and this would be your tip, right? So when I got this, it was like, hey, this is something new for me to play with, too. Let me tell you, after 6 months of playing with it, I could not endorse enough this Seax tip. It's got penetration power that's incredible. It's got prying power because you're not prying, you're prying a whole blade. It's got prying power. It's got piercing power. As far as skinning and stuff is concerned, once you pierce, just tip it up. Look at the leverage that has. You could even open like a can opener with this thing, I'm very impressed with a Seax blade. Had I known the quality and the benefits of having a blade this style, I think I would have designed my TRC like this. But I didn't have the opportunity to use one. So the next knife that I'm working with Charles on designing is going to be a Seax blade. That being said, that's how impressed I am with this. So that being said, when he did this, and I don't really think he even realized he did it, but he triple ground this blade. See it here? and my macro is not going to pick it up. But the blade is triple ground. It's got this high saber, and then there's a convex, and then there's a secondary bevel to it. I've never seen a knife ground like, well, maybe I could pick it up on this side. There it is. You can see it here. There's the second, the second, and the fine edge is the third. I think it was done completely by accident. But man, is this thing open meat? That fine edge cuts through and it just keeps going like that and opens that meat right up. I can't say enough about it. As far as, wood utility, this thing shaves like a Mora. You can get them, flat, fine curls. It hogs wood like a Mora. Right through the knot. No sweat whatsoever. It's an amazing blade. And it's set in with resin into the bone handle. Even for the fact that the blade sits up above your hand like this. Now you can get your hand down below your work and the blade will drag into it. It's amazing. So for a weirdo little knife that wasn't going anywhere, it turned out to be odd but amazing knife. So Woods, yeah, this is the Seax blade, buddy. Charles stippled it so that it has an old look. It does have a 90-degree spine on it. And like I said, it's triple ground, and I just love this stupid thing. And it's going to go with me on some hunting trips this year for sure. So, there you go, Woods. Just wanted to bring you that little blade there. And it's almost hunting season. See you guys on the next one.